welcome back to Captain Talk number 2, which, even though my watch is wrong, I'm going to look at it. It is 1:15:25, and as I told you, Pepper's going to tell you all about her experience from the Cousteau boat. And
it's not tomorrow.
It's not tomorrow. It's not, but this is what you're seeing tomorrow because this is part 2. I know, a 2-parter. I don't normally do that because I'm from the 80s, where when the TV show ended, you knew what happened in an hour span, start to finish. You knew what happened, and then next week's episode didn't really make a hill of beans if you saw last week's episode. So even if you didn't see yesterday, this is Pepper's experiences as being really a small boater and a lake boater.
Yes.
And never having, other than a cruise, gone overnight on a ship.
No, I've been on a big cat once.
Oh, you have? Okay. Tell us about that.
No, just a snorkeling trip in the Keys.
And I'm going to move
It was a day-sized boat.
A day-sized boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't, it was only 4 hours. So
you had that experience.
I had that experience.
Okay. So, but you had, the last time you had a long experience was the 10 days on Jacques Cousteau's boat.
Yes.
So let's start there.
Well, we didn't know we were going to stay on Jacques Cousteau's boat when we left for a trip to Florida. We were just chasing warm weather. But we ended up, during Christmas before that, the Jacques Cousteau boat was on Facebook Marketplace. And we looked at it and didn't think anything else about it till we ended up, we didn't even know we were close to it.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to intervene. I started looking at that boat, you're right. Like a year before at Christmas, I talked to him on the phone, or I talked to him through text message, email, I don't know, maybe on the phone. But we talked about the boat.
Starting at Thanksgiving before the January we ended up near it.
Yes.
Yes. But we ended up right there near it, going down the Keys, looking at boats.
Well, I'm going to interrupt one more time. Because in between finding the Jacques Cousteau boat, I really just followed the path, and I started looking for property.
Yes.
I didn't know why I was looking for property. I didn't. So I just looked. Okay.
Yes, we were on our way back from Texas when you found the property in Alabama.
That's right. I picked you up in Texas.
Yeah, we were on our way back to the East Coast. Stopped to see a friend of mine in Alabama. He found Marketplace, Marketplace. How you found Jackie?
Yes.
So we went and looked at it, and there that goes. He didn't know why he was buying it. But we ended up in Florida, looking at boats in the Keys, and we realized we were near the boat, and when we called him and asked him if we could take a tour, right?
Yes.
Yes.
We did. And he asked, where are you staying? And I said, on a rooftop tent. Because we took a rooftop tent on the Gladiator, went all through Florida. Our plan was just to kind of poke around and winter there and sell some pet grooming equipment. And, it's just kind of tote around and see.
Life.
We've
done it before.
Yeah.
But we ended up getting in touch with him, and he met us at his house, and we went on a tour. And
then he said, do you want to stay on it?
No. We went on the tour, and it smelled really, really, really bad.
Oh, that's right.
But it was Jacques Cousteau's boat.
Yes. And you were like, we should buy it. She was.
Yeah.
And so I called him back up, and we talked on the phone.
And it was our friend's birthday.
Yes.
And we asked him if we could come.
Could we stay on it and invite our friend down?
Yeah.
And he said, it's no problem at all. And we said, we'll clean it. And he was like, you don't have to clean it. We had to clean it.
We had to clean it. We couldn't.
I don't think the next family would have took it.
No, we did all the hard work.
We did. And he was like, you're doing a lot of hard work if you don't buy the boat. And I was like, well,
passing out.
here's why we did it. You need to understand. why we did it.
I didn't understand it at the time.
She didn't
This is
understand it
true.
at the time. I knew, having done projects like this, if you can't get to the deck when there's two inches of bird poo, you don't know what's under the deck. You've got no clue. You're just guessing. And I don't like guessing.
But again, it was vacation.
It was vacation. There's that word again. Vacation.
Vacation.
Yeah, it was vacation. But
I didn't want to leave it. I wanted to keep scrubbing it
and you know, we're going to spend 10 days on it. So what's 3 days to clean it? Really, if you think about it. Then we had the rest of the time just to chill out and relax, which is kind of my motto. You don't get something for free. He would have let us stay, but honestly, I don't think we would have stayed because the smell was it's a bird rookery. I just want you to, if you know birds, you have somebody in the household that knows birds.
thick.
When you say a bird rookery, I just want, they're going to tell you, oh my God, you can smell it. Like in Tampa Bay, St. Pete, your house could be across from it and you're going to smell it like a pig farm if you're from pigging areas.
So we turned
any
it
sort
into
of livestock.
soup
And washed it,
all off.
scrubbed it. Scrubbed
Washed all
it and
the
chipped
mats.
it, paint chippers. I mean, it was thick.
It's disgusting.
We got that all done, and
all the feathers
then
from the inside.
then we spent 10 days. And really, we got off, and she was like, you need to buy this boat. And I was like, this boat's going to cost a lot of money to complete. Not only is it going to cost a lot of money to complete, it's going to be more money than I can afford to have someone do, which means I've got to do it all. And I looked at her and I said, and you're going to have to do it all too. I mean,
And he immediately then took me to the Miami Boat Show.
Oh, I did.
Where reality stepped back in and, nope.
Yeah, the reality of anything
I'm out.
new.
Boat, I'm out.
That could cross oceans? Yeah, no, and I'm not a sailor, so I definitely did not want a mast and ropes, and I've done that before. I'm Big Cat.
But that wasn't the end of the Cousteau boat.
That was
then
not.
you decided you needed to buy it, and he made an offer, and he accepted it, and
He didn't.
with contingency that he was going to go check out. He was going to put the expense in to go check out a property.
Which we did with the Cousteau boat.
Yeah,
He
we
was
took the
surprised we
expense.
showed up from Alabama to see his boat because we incurred, all the expense to go down there, and then we bought enough food for 20 people to have been on the Cousteau boat for 10 days because
They laughed
at us at how much food we brought, and then they laughed at us when we went back because it
Had
was
it all
still
with
completely full.
We ate fish.
So you'll make mistakes along the way. It's fun. It's a guessing game. A lot of life is a guessing game. It is. It's guessing the right direction, the right river turn. You may even have a GPS running that's telling you where to turn. You are so focused.
There are river intersections that are just like highways. And yes, we turned down one and would have to turn around and come back, and maybe this one's it. All the signs are green or red. Doesn't tell you where they're going or anything. It's confusing.
So the Cousteau boat.
Oh, the Cousteau boat. So Robin went and looked at the property, and you heard it was. Yeah, it was almost our project boat, but
You got a
thankfully,
cash.
You got a cash offer from the new owners who are, I can't remember their.
They have a YouTube
They have
channel,
a YouTube channel.
and we will
I can't
put it
remember the
up.
name. Yeah, we'll put it up.
We would have been in the same boat, which is asking everyone to donate, give,
For the calls.
help.
Yeah.
And I am in that situation somewhat with this boat, but not as bad as the Cousteau boat, because let me tell you, you guys would, have to send in a lot of money to get that. Other than just being a little fun runabout, to get it back to being an actual ocean-going vessel that could travel the world, and I had the plan for a solar yacht.
Yeah, but
I
we'd
really
be dead
did.
first. We would be dead first.
For a big solar
We would
cat.
be dead first.
And I was all in. I'm
It
already
was, and it's
planning.
just a hole. You can go back and look at the video. I mean, it's
Figuring
nothing.
out how many solar panels. I'm finding deals on electric motors that I know nothing about, but then I look at that motor, I figure out if it will work for my application, and I either pass it or fail it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the key to life, is pass or fail. And I've owned businesses, and it's the same thing. There's 1,000 ways to advertise. The only way I would ever advertise and actually put money into, if I had the money to do it, I'd put all my money into doing your vehicle up. And you gotta, not a wrap, make it easy. Make it just super simple. That is the key to life. And a solar yacht is not super simple.
Well, thankfully, God said nope.
He did. Yeah.
You thought about offering the property,
And
cash
some
on top
cash.
of it.
Yeah.
But God said nope. So, gosh, was that before we went to Louisiana looking at boats that we knew that one was gone? We did.
Yes.
We did. So we started
Hey,
looking again.
I'm going to interrupt one more time
It'll be
because
17
I
more
never
times.
do this enough. If you are looking for property in West Virginia, maybe West Virginia, I've got 7.5 acres on a river that includes a river island. It is beautiful property. I've been up there. I videoed it. I probably haven't even released the video yet.
There's one out, I think.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I knew I sent Rob a video. And it's got wild roses and it's got lilies, and it is just gorgeous property. It is just to die for. And there's cedar trees all on it that I told Rob, you could cut them, mill them, and do your whole house interior in cedar, which I may beat you to that because I need wood. See, I forget about that. We need wood in Dadeville to finish out the inside. We could cedar the whole inside.
We're not going to West Virginia.
If you're a logger
No.
and you want to turn some
Do you want to live on a
boards,
boat, or do you want to build something out of wood and 17 states away?
I definitely want to live on a boat.
Okay, then.
But we still need to finish Dadeville. So if I could get that done for reasonable, some guy that's like, I got a milling machine and I'll drop the trees and mill the wood and
But then
bring
you
it
have
back to
decide what trees to
Alabama.
drop, and
For
somebody might know, well, those trees dropped there. They may picture something else, because
well, you're right about
pictured
that.
a house and you proposed that kind
Oh
of
my
view to
gosh,
Rob, and
yes.
he's like, nope, dude, let me do me.
Yes,
So.
yes. I had a container home, like lengthwise, all glass, like a ranch style house with a porch going out back, looking over the river, all done out of red iron. So if you're ultra rich and you're
Rob wanted a
like,
Grizzly Adams cabin.
he did. He's like, can I inhabit the cabin that's on there? And I was like,
It's a shed.
no, not really. You're going to need some more walls. And
One more at least.
you're going to have to maybe get a floor. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be cold in the winter, that's for sure. But that would be, I guess, a nice cabin. I mean, you could enclose it and have a nice little cabin for spring and summer and summer.
You can have whatever you
Summer.
want to it. There's two.
You can have whatever you want. I knew what I wanted, which just would have been absolutely phenomenal and incredible views.
And then
But
he started
that
looking
house
for
is
boats
about the
again.
views. Yes. So back to your boat story.
And so he took me to see all kinds of boats.
Yep.
Burger boats, little tiny Caleb, I remember his name. Caleb's
Oh, yeah.
boats that we thought about hard.
It was an aluminum boat,
It was an aluminum
but not
boat,
enough
but
room.
it's like, I don't know,
Not
if it
enough
was
room.
half the size of this.
Maybe. I don't even think.
I don't think so.
I think it
either.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was 35 35 or 40?
30 something.
Okay. And we went down to Mobile.
Went down to, yep, that's where we met Caleb. It was in Mobile. We looked at a burger there.
Yep.
And
how big was the boat we actually went to look at?
oh, the guy, 7, about 60.
Okay. It was 60.
But it was very ill arranged on the inside.
Can you imagine getting around that
50
boat?
to 60-ish? No. 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 But I also know that you can picture something else with what we have to deal with. So I wasn't too worried about that one if you'd chosen that one. And then we went to Beulah Battery.
Yes.
And
that was the best boat out of any of them. That was the Blue
Burger, right? No.
No, that was the Blue Sport Fisherman.
That was in Louisiana.
Open. Was that?
Yes.
Okay. It was
Blue
open
Burger
on the top.
Was in Beulah Battery. And with a mirror bathroom. And I mean, all the wall, every crack. I mean, it was all cut at every surface.
In the bathroom.
Every surface from the tip top that was it was all mirrored.
It was all cut mirror. So. And they were at different angles. You can imagine because it's a boat bathroom. So every mirror, and there's probably 75, 80 mirrors in there, is just complete mirrors, all cut and hung at different angles. So it was like
a disco ball. It was a disco ball turned inside out. That's what it was.
Standing in the disco ball.
You were inside the disco ball.
That was the main bathroom, by the way. That was in the stateroom.
The master bathroom.
Yes.
So, and that one, it was a big hatch in the main living room under carpet and things you had to move. And I'd learned at this point about crawling into these holes and stuff. So I knew that was going to just be a disaster. And thank God because we had this one open with things a lot.
Yes.
So
you're going to go down in your engine room. This has a separate generator room. If you have a separate generator room, you're going to be down in there a lot.
We have a multi-room basement.
I recommend if you can get standing headroom,
yes,
which the doctor had. I mean, the doctor's boat was absolutely
Where do we see? We saw
beautiful.
his in southern Alabama, or was his in Mobile? Outside of Mobile? His was
outside
on the way
Mobile.
to Beulah Battery.
Yes.
His was on the way.
No, because we went back and ate at that restaurant. His was under the bridges, where we looked at Caleb's boat and we stayed at the hotel.
Yeah. So that was Mobile.
Mobile.
Where we went to the doctor's boat, which is the boat that I wanted. It was
He milled his own wood off his own property.
It's all hardwood on the inside. Every surface is hardwood. It was beautiful. It was steel.
Yes.
And it couldn't get up and go, though. It would never.
It was a trawler.
Would never outrace a storm.
With protected keels that protected the props and all the running gear, and then his boat he thought through so well, traveling probably thinking about around the world, and he went back and forth to the Bahamas from Alabama.
He drift fisher. He was a drift fisher.
But he could set it on the sand, and the tide could go out. And you could get out of the boat and do any maintenance you needed to do because of the keel setup. I don't have that. I would love to have that sort of keel setup, and that was one of the selling points of me making an offer on that boat, even though I couldn't afford it. I still made the offer. You have to ask for the no.
You never know.
You have to ask for the no. Okay, so I made the offer and. Well, I made the offer through his broker.
Yes.
He had a broker. So the broker can put it, nicer terms, but the broker was like, I don't really want to even call him with this offer. He's asking $350 and you're offering $100,000.
He was asking over $4.
He was asking over $4?
Yes.
I made the offer because all he can say is, no, I don't want you to have it, and I knew I could make another offer, but I really couldn't afford it, and he wouldn't accept it because I had already offended him. But
That was in Mobile. We saw a burger there, the first burger, that pink on the inside there. But the burgers, he would have had to have totally changed the back of the boat.
Yes, I would have had to lengthen them like they do with a lot of yachts to turn it into a yacht fisher.
And we had been to the boat show, so I knew how much change it was going to cost.
She's figuring it out at this point.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you're talking to these people, and this is really, really
this boat,
expensive.
and you're going to spend how much more? Yeah.
So she knows.
But I liked those boats. They had furniture, they had full kitchens, and, you know.
And guys, I have to tell you, she's my accountant. So she's like, she'll be like, yeah, I know now what that's going to cost, and you're over budget. And I'll be like, I know. That puts me over budget if I got to spend another $40,000 on just lengthening. But I know, too, that if push came to shove, I could spend 3-4 months and I could fabricate that and put it on. But I don't know if I would trust it.
Okay, so let's continue the story.
Okay.
So, every day that we were on that trip, at the end of the day, I would ask to see this boat again because I'd never been on it. He went up and our friends met a friend up there and he looked at boats. So I'd want to see that video every time. So then we decided to go look at a sport fish down in Louisiana, the southernmost point of Louisiana.
Southernmost
again.
point,
I can't
all
remember
the way
town
down.
right now.
But Bayou like by Tree?
No, that's in Alabama.
Okay.
Oh, wherever you can Google southernmost tip of Louisiana and the name of the town. There's a really good restaurant on the left as you're going down.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of that either, but
it's a gas station restaurant. It's the last thing you pass before this weird subdivision.
Right after all the drilling, where all those
yes,
were.
past all the drilling.
Yeah, where all the drilling
past
stuff.
all of the industrial section.
Yeah.
You just keep driving down that road. You pass the old fort on your left, so you can look that fort up. But it's at the southernmost tip, and that's the only other boat that gave this a run for its money. But he was asking $125, and I would have honestly to have this boat just to change that boat and enclose the top.
It was open. This was all open.
This was all open.
The ladder was weird to get down to the front.
No electronics.
Real narrow to step up on the sides. It was really dark down on the inside.
It was dark inside.
Dark wood. I mean, it's pretty.
The inside of the hull is clean. I've been all over that boat.
Yeah.
I've videoed it. So if you're looking for a sport fisherman, the engines were started right up. The engine room was clean. A little difficult to get into an engine room, but if you owned a sport fisherman, it's you pull up the stairs and you climb down in. I would not want to do that every day. That's why you have a young mate, and I'm the mate. So I was like, a lot of these boats, I turned to people that were showing them to me, and I'm like, no one likes the crew. And I'm the crew, because I'm not going to make a crew member crawl through. And one of the burgers was a 3x3 hole. That same one with the glass bathroom. So you probably don't want that boat.
Yeah, that was horrible for the crew.
It was horrible for the crew. I was like, hell no. I don't want to be a crew member on this boat.
So we're in Louisiana. I can't remember what month it was. But every day we're still looking at this boat. And we went down to the little fishing village and stayed on that houseboat thing.
Oh, yes.
And we watched the video of this boat over and over and over.
It was a huge investment.
I know, but you sat out there on that back porch and decided that he made the phone call.
I made the phone call.
So we left in November and drove to Nowink, Connecticut. Saturday morning we went and met Jonathan. They signed papers, did all this stuff. It was like 8:30 that morning. By 4 o'clock we were on the water. We were leaving. We unloaded everything out of the truck. We went and got provisions. We hopped on and we were gone out of the sound. It was beautiful, beautiful.
Well, while we were on the houseboat, I called Jonathan and I said I want it.
Oh, yeah.
And he said,
Oh.
when can you pay for it? And I said, well, I can pay for it now. I mean, I made sure I was all set before I called and said, let's close this thing.
Yeah, that's when it was a done deal.
Sellers get upset when you call and close it and then you don't,
Take action.
give them the money and take action. If I made the offer and he accepted it, but you still have time to make a decision, which is what I did. Apparently we had an alarm set.
Yeah.
That cost me some money because then we had to renegotiate because I took
forgot
a
about
while,
that.
which I understood. I guess really it's, I made the offer, he accepted it. As a seller, he thought, well, we're closing right now.
And that didn't happen.
And I truly wasn't ready to close because it was such a big investment for me to be thinking about moving my whole life onto a boat. And, a boat's not something you've got to figure out where you're going to put it. Because if you don't have a place to put it, it costs a lot of money to just, pull up to docks. You really need to have a place in line of where you're going to put it, or are you going to just anchor it and risk it? Because if you're not on the boat and you anchor it, the sailboat next to us broke free 3 times. They say the lines were cut 3 times. I don't know. I don't know how the boat was rigged. I can tell you, we were tied to the dock in Atlantic City. Well, not only one line broke. As soon as the bow line broke, well, the other 2 lines, because there were a bunch of old lines on here when I got this boat, were poly, and then that went. But we still luckily had enough lines that we didn't blow off the dock and end up sideways and damaging stuff. So leaving it on the hook and walking away from it is a scary thought to most people that value their investment. At a dock, like this, with people staying on the dock, someone's looking at the boat every day and somebody will call and get it fixed. Okay. And what did you think? We left Noank, Connecticut. The owner drove us out because it's shallow getting out. And he said, are you going to be okay? I said, yeah. Once you get me to some water, I'm pretty good. I underspeak for myself, but I know what I'm doing, but you can always be learning. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like even Hatteras, going into Hatteras taught me something. I've never really had a twin engine boat other than a small cat at 18 foot. Okay? So you can use the throttles. We'll cut that out. I keep interrupting you. It's making me think all these lessons I've been learning and didn't even know I was learning.
Yeah.
Life.
I learned the very first night after the beautiful sunset. This bar right here, you can't see it.
I'll turn them. Oh, wait, guys. Okay.
This is the position that you get in to throw up for the next 12 hours during confused seas. I didn't even know what that meant. And the whole figure your life. But it works very well. You don't feel like you're going to fall out or anything.
That was really thought out by someone. I'm telling you right now, 100%. The bar, the window, everything was thought out because I was amazed. Most boats, you don't get a setup like this at all.
We're very thankful. But the next morning, when it calmed down, we drove. Will drove all night long. Through all that mess while I was either back there or up here puking. And the next morning it calmed down again and it was a beautiful day and I still wanted to be on the boat.
Saw a whale that day, dolphin, whale.
Yeah, you did. I was still sick.
Tuna.
Yeah, you did.
I saw tuna feeding on the surface.
Yeah. And then Atlantic City, and I learned all the calls to fixing everything, but I still wanted to be on the boat. We left there. We've had steering issues and ended up in the dark in Norfolk. Oh, you know, dodging,
full of freighters at 1 a.m.
dodging
by the
freighters,
way.
and
I had no
the steering
clue.
wasn't working, and I don't know how to drive a big boat. I mean, it was overwhelming. They kept us in one spot near the Chesapeake Bay Bridge so he could rest for 45 minutes, and we didn't hit the bridge, and everything was fine, and we continued on. And the first night we anchored outside of Kitty Hawk, it was beautiful. It was a little rolling, but it wasn't weird. And then we had some experiences. Getting towed in that morning. Cape Hatteras. That's the only time I've ever thought about maybe leaving the boat, and I just wanted to get off of that moment. Because we had been we left, where did we leave? New Jersey? No.
Atlantic City.
No,
Right.
Oregon Inlet. We left Oregon Inlet. We figured if we got out by 10 a.m., and we don't know how to judge this, evidently, at this point. So we figured if we could get out by 10 a.m.
We couldn't get out at 10 a.m.
south.
because we were going to fill up.
And they had to come do something in the engine.
Oh, that's
room.
right. They still had to do something. Oh, the
But-
PTO pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to change
We
the
thought we were
fluid in the
We
transmission.
thought if we got out by noon, we'd be okay, but we got out at 10. Thought we could outbeat the weather. We were wrong. We were wrong.
Yeah, we should have stayed another 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
But instead, we rode 8 hours in confused seas outside of Hatteras.
It's like a roller coaster. It really is. It's fun.
We have a clear camera that shows you at night the sky and the water. I can't watch it because it does this.
You're
Like,
looking
let's
at
try
the
this
moon.
again. And you can't keep up because it's like this.
You're looking at the moon. You're looking at the sea. You're
And
looking
in
at
our
the moon.
fashion, we don't do anything but arrive in the dark. See? It's dark. It's like 8 o'clock at night. And they told us to turn around and go back from which we came. I told Willy, who was over there, he said, y'all got to give me a minute. And I started praying, like, please, Lord, please, because I'm going to have to ask these nice Coast Guard people to please let me get on the boat with them because I can't do this for 8 more hours.
Can you imagine?
Just uncomfortable.
She did. She was like, let's radio them and I'll get off and ride back with them. And I'm thinking, well, if they come out
south
here,
again.
I'm following them back in, and then they're probably going to be really upset because they're going to think we planned this. But I'm going to be like, you guys turned to go in. No.
And that's a bit, I mean, he told them, he's like, I don't like that idea. I'm choosing that we're going in there.
And we
After
went
they
in
made
there.
us accept a liability if we crashed into something, it was our own fault. We said yes, and we wrote it in. And it was nothing compared to what the 8 hours we had been through. We got over that bar and we stopped so they could transfer their hurt person. And I'm like, holy crap, it's going to get worse. We're just resting for a minute because we'd been through such bad weather. But that was it. I was like, that was nothing.
She was. She's like, that's it? That was nothing right there. And I thought to myself, it took quite a bit to get in there, but the boat did it. If I didn't have that horsepower and I was a sailboat or a trawler, we'd have been in trouble. Once we started going sideways, it took everything on the starboard motor.
Fishtail, what I call fishtail, like a dirt road.
Yes, but the problem was the wave was pushing that stern.
Yeah.
And so once it pushed us sideways, it wanted to push us over. And that's what they were worried about. They wanted a boat in front and a boat behind. And when they lost that second boat, that's when it became...
You snoozed it.
Oh, okay.
We probably should turn it off.
Well, we're just going to break this into a couple little things. Is what I think we'll do. Or we'll short. Employer's going to be upset if you sit there and watch a 3-hour video versus, 15-minute or... I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody
Sure.
comment and tell us which they prefer.
What do you prefer?
We've done it both
More
ways.
information, less information. I'll take it into account and I'll think about it.
And do what he wants to do.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly. And that's what I did with the Coast Guard. I understand your thought process, but I'm not riding back to Oregon Inlet. And then they said that inlet is a more favorable angle for these seas. And after going through it, I would agree with them, but that doesn't get us inshore.
To get to it. And we decided not to take the intercoastal because of words like Hell's Gate
Yes.
and stuff that day. But we got
Yeah.
in and we got in the sound
And we ran aground
anchored.
twice getting out of Oregon Inlet, which,
Yeah.
look, inside is the only time I've ever had an issue at Oregon Inlet. I've been out it before. My problems were inside as well. I ran aground. So I'm 2 for 2. But I knew what, as soon as they said the gates of hell, I was like, holy, I don't really want to deal with that. I know I can go back out of Oregon Inlet. I got a line that the Coast Guard drew for me.
All the locals were telling us, no, don't do it.
I'm like, I got a
Don't
perfect
do it.
line. Just Sunday, they gave me a line. It's been a week. It can change, but we've had no
It did a
major
little bit.
storms.
That's how we ran aground.
Yes.
But we got out and we got to Hatteras and we got in and we anchored. And then the next morning, Will was so proud of his, what's that red ball called? Anchor buoy.
Anchor ball.
Anchor ball. And he looked it up and was going to show me.
I'm going to
how
show
it
her how to
works.
use an anchor ball.
He showed me.
You get taught
What it
lessons
feels
every
like
day.
when the anchor lets go and you keep going. So, so then we had no anchor. 'Cause
So
the
I
boat
taught
only
her-
came with one.
I taught you
How to back down on a fish.
when
by
an
trying to
anchor
find
ball
that
doesn't
ball.
work. How not to do it.
But I learned how to get the ball in the side of the boat, and we saved the anchor ball. And
Yeah, which you just likened when a fish is behind us,
Yeah.
see?
learned how to back down on a fish.
You already got it.
Yeah. And we went into Oriental, where we met some of the nicest people ever.
Oh my gosh. Stop in
Boat
Oriental.
people. They're boat people. It's a village of boat people.
What was the marina called there?
Oriental.
Marina.
Inn and Marina.
Inn and Marina.
Inn and,
Okay.
or Marina and Inn. Yeah. They're wonderful people.
Okay, we're going to stop this for a second because you guys got to see these wood ducks. This is a pair of wood ducks doing what wood ducks do. Where'd they go?
They're right there.
Man, you're going to have to you get it because I can't get it.
Now they are. Aww.